Fuck yeah! Going together, sing the motherfucking day, yeah, America! Fuck yeah! Freedom is the only way, yeah! Terrorist, your game is through.
And you'll regret the day that you fucked with America. Fuck
I wish it was a longer clip, but yeah, that was actually the end of the clip.
God, what is up, everyone? I'm being
Welcome
too
to
loud today.
it's our last episode for the end of that MAGA month.
That's right. It's the end of MAGA month, and Crash brought us some fire right there. There's nothing more American than that. Doing dumb shit with fireworks and listening to awesome music. Welcome to another episode of the Clout Goblins. My name is Flagrant Triggers, and I am currently rebuilding a small business, which we'll have some updates on that soon. And I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Crash Mondo Jr. How are you, sir?
I am good. I'm having a productive day. Doing my own car work. I mean, it was just changing oil, but yeah, still feels good to actually.
Running miles like some Ethiopian kid in Africa. Good grief! Holy shit! You have to be You're definitely the person I know that runs the most out of the people I know.
I'm a rare breed, I'm sure.
What is up, Z? Ahoy, ahoy! Oh, speaking of, I gotta play that clip, don't I?
Which clip?
Oh, I have got to play that clip. We'll do that later.
Okay.
Yeah. We will do that later. Today, we're gonna be discussing a few things, like how fucking awesome Tom MacDonald is, and how our government is just fucking corrupt. But I mean, come on, like we didn't already know that. And maybe get into some Redpill stuff, and we're gonna see what the chat's doing. So, yeah, Crash. Like, where should we start, man? I think I want to save Tom for the end.
Okay.
Like end on a high note.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about our favorite druggie.
Oh yes.
And tax evader. Not that I believe in taxes. Taxation's theft, but yeah, if he doesn't have to pay it, then I shouldn't.
Yeah. So our favorite druggie in the White House, and not Joe, his son, the one who's always bringing the heat. He had his plea deal completely blown the fuck up.
I mean, for once, a judge with some freaking integrity. Like,
okay,
seriously.
So I'm going to question that, but you'll see what I mean at the end. So
okay, yeah. I haven't followed the story that closely.
On Wednesday, a federal judge deferred a decision on whether to approve Hunter Biden's plea deal. Let's see. Where do they actually get it? Because they always fucking bury the lead in the shit.
Yeah.
Let's see.
At the right paragraphs of context that everybody already knows anyway.
You know what? I'm just going to pull up the thread that Tim found.
I mean, a lot of these Twitter threads are better news source anyway.
They really are, because they're concise. They don't narrate a whole fucking perspective for 2 minutes before you actually get to
give you the important quotes.
Stupid.
You just highlight clips, but also just provide the resource so you can always look for context.
Yeah, basically, guys, Hunter Biden's plea deal got blown up because he was trying to be sneaky.
Sneaky.
Extremely sneaky. What happened was, so Hunter had a plea deal, and it was supposed to be for the, I believe the gun charge. Is that right?
Yes.
No. It wasn't the gun charge. It was a tax. It was the tax stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the tax stuff, and they tried to sneak in. Basically, they tried to give him immunity from anything he's ever done, including the gun charge, the drugs, the Foreign Agent Act, Foreign Agent Representative Act, like all of that. And it was a good catch by the judge, but I also feel like the judge also did that out of complete pragmatism too. Because if it had been questioned and brought to an inquiry panel, I could 100% see that judge being disbarred. Damn it, where is this thing?
I think we need to see more of that, because I don't think we see enough bad judges and lawyers getting disbarred for bad behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the problem with the legal systems. They just get away with too much.
That's
creates a moral hazard.
I've got firsthand dealing with a little bit of corruption from a judge. So that's a whole little. Damn it, I'm not. Shit. Vamp for a minute because I need to find this. So, like, what do you think is going to happen now? Do you think he's going to get? They're going to just reword it? Because so my theory is that the judge got backed into a corner to where if any kind of halfway decent review was done on this and what the paperwork was saying, the judge could have came under fire big time. But I think they're also doing it to not only keep the judge safe, but to also reword everything so that he does get the immunities from this stuff.
I don't know. Has any of LawTube put out an opinion on that? You know?
That is a good question. Let's see if old Nikki Rackets has said anything. Because he would probably. I mean, I'm sure he said something about it. I don't see anything popping up. This reminds me of
check Nate the lawyer.
All right.
I feel like if neither of them said anything about it, I don't think any of the others would have anything out there on it.
Yeah. No, I don't.
I mean, it might be too soon too, because you got to see what's going to happen with it. You know, like the story's pretty short. It's the judge deferred the decision on it, so they got to do another deal. Rather, I guess, resubmit. I don't know. What did the judge have any comments on?
Oh yeah.
Like, I guess what are the judge's comments? Like, in theory, I guess you're just supposed to address those comments, and you can probably resubmit.
This will be easy because I know exactly what. Because it was the infamous paragraph 15. Let's see if they got it on here. Nope.
Front Porch says that there's a bootleg copy in the Politico article that you had up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So maybe if you scroll down, it probably has it embedded.
No, it wasn't embedded. It does say that it does have a little piece about paragraph 15 here. So So it says, let's see. Prosecutors included details about Hunter Biden's foreign business endeavors into the plea deal on the misdemeanor tax charges, but wrote the immunity standards into the diversion agreement, the much cited paragraph 15, which would include any federal crimes encompassed in the state of facts for the plea agreement. So a lot of times, like if you ever get a speeding ticket, they will say, okay, you can plead guilty, pay a ticket, it'll go onto your license, you get so many points, it'll affect your insurance, or you can do a deferment program where you go through defensive driving, and as long as you don't get another traffic violation within so many years, then that'll be it, and nothing goes on your license, you don't have any issues. With him, so there was a deferment program for the tax evasion. And in that deferment agreement, they tied in the gun charge where he lied about being a drug abuser on his firearms application forms, and the Foreign Agent Representative Act, just basically anything that we know Hunter Biden has done that's illegal that he can be charged for, they tried to tie into the deferment program, which is not what the deferment program is for.
Mm-hmm.
The deferment program is supposed to just be for the tax evasion charge, saying you do this, you got so much probation, blah blah blah, and we'll drop the charges. And when the judge found that, she flipped the hell out. And that's when she said, "Hey, I am not going to do this because, like, again, the deferment program has absolutely nothing to do with the other crimes that he's committed, or he's accused of.
Right.
I don't even think he's accused of it yet. Actually,
have they not filed charges for any of that?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Hunter Biden has not been charged, especially with the Farrah stuff. Okay, so he is charged with one violation of unlawful possession of a firearm by person prohibited. Okay, so those two were tied together. So the tax and firearm charges were tied together, and they tried to throw in everything else. Yeah. So the plea deal was for the firearms charge and the plea deal. Yeah, and that was the big thing too. They also, like Rob said, they tried to tie in any investigation into him afterward. So basically, they were trying to make the Hillary Clinton deal that Comey gave her, where she would be found, she has immunity to all charges related to the absolute federal violations that she committed.
According to this indictment, De Oliveira tells Trump employees,
like, that wasn't even necessarily an official deal. He just sat on his hands and didn't charge. There's nothing. Yeah. I don't think there was anything like filed anywhere where it's just like she was granted that. It's just that he just ordered the FBI to not do anything, or the DOJ.
Yeah. Let's see.
And I still can't believe that people are still act as if, oh, she did nothing wrong. I'm like, he literally stated the crime she committed on television.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I did that even accidentally, I could go to jail.
Yeah, you're right, though. They didn't even begin an investigation because they gave her immunity beforehand.
Well, no, they had an investigation. They knew exactly how many classified emails were on that server, or that. Well, not that particular server, not the one that was wiped with bleach play, I guess, but as far as communicating classified information, James Comey stated exactly how many classified emails she had sent to foreign agents from a non classified communication method.
And I think Front Porch is right. Because if I'm not mistaken, they didn't even file that in court until that day of, did they, Front Porch? Because she was completely caught off guard by it. Front Porch finding out our prep. But I mean, either way, do we really think anything's going to fucking happen to him? Like, seriously?
No, nobody does.
Come on. And there's whispers of impeachment, like Kevin McCarthy. Well, this may rise to the effect of an impeachment inquiry. Like, come the fuck on, man. Like, we know he's corrupt. We know he's made deals. We know he was a foreign agent. Hunter was, for his dad, who was getting a cut of the dealings he was doing. Hunter was representing his dad in these dealings. He had multiple phone calls. Now there's multiple phone calls that show that Joe was right there with Hunter when he was talking to these fucking people. And it comes up to maybe an inquiry. Like, this just shows like how screwed we are, man.
Yep.
We are ladies and gentlemen, we are 110% absolutely fucked. And there is a slight, I think we've created a slight little stopgap in the independent space, because that's getting money to people instead of the government. But the
government
cows
just prints
utter
money anyway, so it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, man. The udder on this American dream cow, it's fucking raw and blistered and just barely dripping. And the people at the top have taken everything. I mean, another great example of this is Sam Bankman-Fried.
God, don't even remind me, Lord.
Yet another fucking establishment agent who he just got all of his charges dropped for the tax
embezzling billions of dollars,
embezzling, fraud. All of that was dropped. And you know why? Because of the extradition contract that they had with the Bahamian government. Because apparently the government in the Bahamas extradited him on certain things, but the charges against him were never part of that extradition agreement. So now the United States government, the big fucking bad will fuck your country up government, said, oh, we're sorry, you're right, we didn't have these charges in the extradition agreement, we won't go after him for that. Give me a fucking break, dude. It's fucking, the FTX was worth like $32 billion or some shit like that.
It's over 50, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous how much it was worth.
Well, I mean, by worth, it's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's an embezzling scheme. Yeah, there was billions funneled into it.
This has to be.
Nobody knows where the heck it went, except for some of it. Some of it came back to the DNC.
Well, he donated to both Democrats and Republicans. The established. He made sure he had his ass covered by the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And now nothing is fucking happening to him. And you talk about someone who's a fucking groomed actor of the establishment. Dad had a couple degrees from, Yale or Harvard. Mom had 3 degrees from Harvard. His dad was this big hedge fund boss or some shit like that. His dad worked at MIT and was over the SEC. Something to do with the
girlfriend's
SEC.
Dad.
Oh, was it?
Was his girlfriend's dad was the SEC chief for a while.
I'd say, you know what? We'll do this because
fact check.
Yeah, well, we're gonna take a look at one of my favorite guys to check news out for, and no, it is not Tim Pool. So, yeah, we are going to check out the wonderful Mr. Jimmy Dore, because holy shit, Jimmy's the fucking man. I'm sorry, he's lefty, he's way out of left field with that shit, but he's the man, and he breaks this down very well.
Let's get to Sam Bankman-Fried. So this guy is not going to be charged.
Well, just not for campaign finance, right?
You're not surprised.
He's getting some way, because last time I saw a thing, it said they quietly dropped charges, and it was that they had dropped 5 charges because he has like a bunch of charges. So is he still on the hook for something, or he's not completely free, right? There's
He
no
can
way
be sued personally. They can personally go after him. The people who he screwed over in the exchange can go after him personally. But this is the biggest charge because this one is the one that duplicates our Congress.
But so the Ponzi,
and the charge is for the campaign violation fraud, or campaign violation charges.
scheme, he's not still in trouble for defrauding people in that? Because it just says
I'm pretty sure he can, but this is the most important charge because this is the one that linked all the money back to our government. This is everything that was involved.
And again, this is proof we are fucked because the people who are over us and in charge of the country are fucking corrupt, just evil assholes. And yeah.
The Justice Department will not pursue a campaign finance charge against Sam Bankman-Fried as part of an effort to adhere to the legal obligations of the FTX founder's extradition from the Bahamas.
What?
Boy, nothing can hold him. He's a bank man. The latest comic universe. It's Bankman. Your petty shackles can't hold him. He's a cross between the Hulk and Abby Hoffman. He's like the Hulk because he also can't answer a single question, and he's like Abby Hoffman because he keeps walking free. Democrat mascot Sam Bankman-Freedom is what America is all about, baby. The freedom to do anything you fucking feel like. The campaign finance violations charge was among 8 counts present in the Department of Justice original indictment, which also includes wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering in December. In a filing late.
Yes. So
people in the DOJ, we need whistleblowers. If you have any integrity, please.
Yes, for God's sake.
Like, I'm talking like you low-level people who are not involved with the deep state. You're just someone who just has a job. You're just trying to feed your family.
A normal
you gotta
human
start
being,
saying something. Yeah.
Yeah, like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is out in the open, too. And this got so big, you had people like Tom Brady, Kevin O'Leary, all these big fucking names pushing this shit.
Yep.
Now, Kevin O'Leary probably definitely knew what was going on because he knows too much about finance and the financial industry to not have an idea of this and see, holy shit, this is a house of cards that could collapse at any time.
Well,
like
you'd expect a guy like that to check the papers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of SEC filings. I'd imagine, right? Because it was FTX a public company? Were they publicly traded?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so they have
because they wanted people to invest. That's the whole reason they made the commercials with.
Right. So you would think he'd be checking that meticulously.
One would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just going to get more ridiculous as he reads this shit.
Late Wednesday, addressed to the New York federal judge Lewis Kaplan, the Department of Justice said that they had been informed that the Bahamas did not intend to extradite the defendant on the campaign contributions count.
What?
Folks, if you're doing something illegal, I say get your ass to the Bahamas ASAP. Where are the crystal clear healing waters will wash away all the sins and you will be absolved. So, in adherence with the...
Do it.
We got to remember, rules for thee, not for me. All right. So like I get a little irritated when guys like talk like, oh, yeah, just go to the Bahamas, you get away with everything. It's like, no, I won't.
Yeah.
The fuck I will. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah, they'll extradite your ass in a heartbeat for a fucking breadcrumb.
I'd end up in Gitmo. Like, it's just like you don't be advising people. Like, and I realize you're joking, but it's that Jimmy's joking, but still, we seem to lose sight of that. We're a two-class society. All right, we have the deep state and the political elite class. Elite, like none of them can do a pull-up. I'm with Zuby. We got to stop calling them elites. We need a new name for them. Didn't we come up with one not that long ago? Maybe it was a while ago.
Well, we came up with a name for the what that group of people, the demographic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. The demographic.
Yeah, instead of it's not a demographic. They're a demographic.
They're demographic. Yeah.
And
if you are not part of the right demographic, you go straight to jail.
Well, I think it depends too, because when it comes to major crimes like this, it is definitely two-tiered. If this was Donald Trump, his ass would be in jail.
Yes,
in a
it's
heartbeat.
not about. It's not rich versus poor. It's us versus them. Really,
right.
Yeah.
But I think locally you have the 3 tiers, because you've got the people who can commit crimes and get away with it because they're in the demographic locally.
Mm-hmm.
You've also got the rich versus poor locally. But
yeah,
then
to a degree, yeah.
But then you've got the
I mean, there tends to be a lot of overlap right there, though. You know
Yeah, but you still got, like, if you're the wrong type,
yeah,
you're more likely to get in trouble.
Right. I guess
compared
the point there is that's more the exception than the rule. It's just like, okay, so Donald Trump isn't deep state. Who else we got that's also not deep state?
Yeah.
I mean, political class. I've always said I can count my favorite politicians on a single hand. You know, it's Massey, Amash, Rand Paul, Ron Paul.
I like Matt Gaetz.
I'm kind of halfway on Matt Gaetz.
Who's the?
He some of the stuff he's doing, you know, I used to be like a no on him, but some of the stuff he's doing, I'm like, you know, I fully support. I just don't know that I trust him.
Hawley, the senator, is pretty good. I like
Josh Hawley. Yeah,
I'd
agree with that.
I'd have to look more into the policies he's backed and went for, but overall, he seems to be asking some of the right questions. But again, like, who the fuck's doing anything about it?
Yeah. Oh, Chip Roy. I got to give props to that guy.
Yeah, I do. Yep, I agree. I do like Chip Roy. I'm going to start digging into the NC senator. What the fuck is his name? Oh my god.
Senator is.
He was Trump's chief of staff.
I'm sure, okay, well now I know I'm gonna recognize the name as soon as you find it.
Tom Tillis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's definitely establishment. Because he definitely toes that line. He'll push back a little bit on some innocuous things, but that's about it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people who they're trying to give just enough pushback to not lose the base for their personal gain.
Yeah,
and it's frustrating
that's exactly it.
They try to keep the corruption, you know, just they try to fly under the radar, and then publicly they'll you know, give pushback against the deep state, the establishment, and then like they'll put on a good show. But yeah, you got to watch what's their voting record actually like. What kind of bills are they actually participating in getting put into Congress, and then just what other connections are they showing as far as like corporate lobbies go, you know?
Well, this is why I do not have any actual good faith in people like Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur and all of those guys. Like, to me, like the Young Turks, ever since Trump got out of office and they lost that appeal and they lost that we got to do whatever we can, money, whatever we got to do to keep Trump down. Like, once they lost that fervor, they've done nothing but lose money. And I 100% believe this. It's just a pragmatic move by them. They're just trying to make sure that they can stay afloat. And I think that's why they're making this change. And a lot of people are buying it. One of the so I called in Tim Pool earlier this week, and I asked him, like, do you think we should be giving praise to people who are actively pushing evil things or are evil people? Because to me, if you're pushing for transing kids, if you're pushing for sending billions to a war that we should not be involved in at all because it's thousands of miles away from us and nobody can find it on a fucking map half the time. And
Right, we are not. Well, no, I'm not going to go into my anti-war rant. Keep going. Sorry.
well, you're pushing for the DEI stuff. You're pushing for segregation, which is racism. Pushing for and keep pushing for hostile intentions between races. I'm sorry, you're actively evil, and people like Harry Sisson, who are paid to do it, are worse. Because I guarantee, if you got Harry Sisson one-on-one, and he knew nobody would say a fucking thing about it, I guarantee you he would not believe in half the shit he spews.
Yeah, I don't believe he believes any of it either. I
And
don't think he believes in any of it. I think he's just doing his job. He got hired, and
it's basically like
he's paying well enough that he doesn't want to at least leave it now. You know, I mean, I imagine that. I mean, like even when you're even if you really like hate a job, generally you try to find another spot before you leave where you are, right? Unless you just absolutely have no choice. I don't know. I imagine. I'm trying to decide, like, does he actually consider this stuff tolerable, or you know, I wonder if he kind of drives himself crazy, putting up with with that shit, you know.
Well, I mean,
I wonder about guys like him, Chris Mowry, the
Krasensteins, dude. I cannot
Brooklyn Dead
stand
Defiant.
these guys, dude. But I mean, look, they're like the hooker who sees the dick cheese all over the guy's crotch, and they're like, "Well, it's a job. I still got to do it."
Mm-hmm.
And people like that should not get any praise when they do they do the minuscule amount of morally right things, right? Like, they say, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this to kids." Yeah, no shit. That's kind of a given, you fucking idiot. Like,
yeah, and it's not like we haven't been here for how long?
Yeah. Like, well, that's actually why I out of all the people doing the lefty shit, I like Bill Maher a little bit more. Like, he's way fucking behind the curve, and I think he knew about shit beforehand, but he's also not trying to pander to anyone. Like, he just says his opinions. Yes, they're changing. He's not trying to grift on it. He's just like, "Oh, yeah, I kind of fucked that up."
Bill Maher is kind of at a level of like Joe Rogan. He's got fuck you money, so he can say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
For the most part, his opinions are still shite for the most part. I think.
Yeah.
Overall,
Well,
so I don't really like him that much, but I do respect that he's at least. I respect that. I believe that those are his actual opinions. I don't, you know, unlike these other influencers who are just towing the line.
The big thing for me with Bill Maher is he recently did an interview with Jordan Peterson, and it was just a chill hangout, chat, talk about things and why things are the way they are. He wasn't trying to do the grifty thing of like asking dumb fucking questions and pushing dumb fucking narratives. Like, they sat down, they chilled, they just had a conversation. You know, the way things used to be. When even though you might not agree with someone on everything, you still talked about it, and got the other person's perspective, and like that is how you create change, because everyone thinks about things differently. Everyone looks at things from a different angle. There's not one guaranteed prescribed way to look at a problem and fix it. If there were, then you wouldn't have scientific theories disproven all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, the science is not 100% accurate. It is 100% fallible. And that's why there is the scientific method. That's why you have innovation and change.
Well, hold on, because when they say trust this, they're not saying, when they say trust the science, they don't really mean that.
No. You're
It's just their
100%
word
correct.
games. They're saying trust the scientist. In fact, trust their scientists. Because there were scientists at the beginning of the pandemic that were calling out these statistics, just things that didn't make sense. And they got shut down. Some of them lost jobs.
Oh yeah, they lost their medical licenses.
Mhm.
The YouTube channel was completely banned. Like, they got thrown into the fucking wood chipper,
That's right.
and they came out with fucking nothing. Like, their
It's the
lives got
same.
ruined.
It's the same thing with the all the climate stuff.
Mhm.
There is a wide variety of opinions amongst the scientific community. The 97% consensus thing has been debunked. Like, it was debunked a long time ago. It is not 97%. It was never close to that.
Yeah, it's actually closer to 50-50.
No, it's closer to actually like 0.3. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm serious. I don't want to do it injustice, so I'm not going to get into the details of that particular, the study that studied the 97% consensus theory. But needless to say, it was nothing more than an abstract word search.
Mhm.
And they adjusted some definitions to take on other groups that were of people that were more in the middle to include in that 97%. They also excluded a ton of other of these articles. It was a total of like 12,000 articles. It was like 990 something. And I mean, like these are the details they leave out of the study. They just kept fudging these things, like excluding these without telling you, which is like half of the 12,000 articles were. I guess I'm going into this anyway. Half of the 12,000 articles, approximately, I don't remember the exact percentage, were just not counted because they didn't speak to climate change. But when they talk about 97% consensus, they said 97% of the 12,000 authors. And it's like, no, you're already at half. And then you expanded your definitions of, there was the people who definitely believed in man-made climate change. There were people who were like, maybe believed in it. And then there were others who believed in like the global warming theory, but didn't believe that man didn't contribute to it. And they included all of that in their 97%. But when you got to the hardcore believers, it was some minuscule percentage that were actually like the hardcore believers amongst that sample.
Yeah, well, and that's a scary part too, because look at the jab and their double-blind studies, which if someone was having an adverse event, they were kicked out of the study, and their data was never included. And it wasn't double-blind. Come to find out that people knew who were the control and who was the experiment group. And shit like this happens every fucking day with medications, with technology, with climate shit. It's all a big fucking game. And it's funny because the good guys always win, right? To the victors write the history, and to the victor go the spoils. And like that's why I question so much of history now, because I'm sure there was an opposing narrative that had its own backing to show that there was some validity to it, or things just didn't happen the way that they said they did.
There are so many things that we were raised on, that we were taught in school, or maybe our parents just told us because we didn't know, or our friends told us because we didn't actually know the truth, that turns out that just a lot of stuff that's false. I'm not going to get into too many more details. I'll take this podcast off the rails. But
well, I mean, it's a simple example of that's the food pyramid.
That's a great example.
The food pyramid, from like time I was a kid, it was always like get your grains and your breads and all that, and all of your fruits and veggies. Like that's the big thing. Protein should be the small thing. Like no, it's completely wrong. Flip the motherfucker upside down. And we're actually, because I can't remember what study it was, but they've shown that we're actually not evolved to break down grains like they say we are. Like, I think that's why there are a lot of issues, and why diabetes is so bad, and why people have gastric issues. They focus their diet on so many processed grains, and I think it's ruining people's GI tracts.
I think it's that. I think it's also just we put sugar and everything. We put artificial sweeteners, which are terrible for you and everything. It's the conglomeration of all of it. So when people defend this stuff and they cite a study about a particular thing and say, I think it's not bad for you, in a minuscule dose, but we put that shit in everything. Or if it's not that, it's just some other sugar equivalent. And just too much sugar itself is already like bad for you. And it doesn't really take that much. And then when you add and then there's no studies that look at the long-term effects of all of these things, or even just like a group of these things on a population together. It's all just, oh, well, this thing, as long as you is not too much, it's this minuscule amount. But like you start adding up all these things over time, and then just mass quantities, because it's like I said, it might just be aspartame here and then sucralose there and whatever GMO crap they have in some boxed food that you have in your pantry right now. Like you add all that up, it's going to cause long-term effects. Like
that is why when Kenzie's here, it's usually a meat like steak or chicken or something like that, and then with fruit, like it'll be like grapes and strawberries, or apple slices, or blueberries, or something like that. Like a lot of people look at that and they're like, wow, what kind of dinner is that? Like, where's the mashed potatoes and the garlic bread and the macaroni and cheese? And like, that's why you're fucking fat, especially if you don't do anything.
Right. Your body, when you take in carb, your body wants to burn it. And if it doesn't burn it, it's going to go to the fat.
Yes. Here is a quick physiology lesson for people. Carbs are complex sugars. And when they break down, your body burns glucose, which is a simple sugar, and it burns whatever it needs to run. So when you break down carbs, and that breaks down into several, like a large amount of simple sugars, and you're not doing anything to burn all those simple sugars, your body takes all that and creates fat. And that is where the excess glucose gets stored. And the reason a high protein, low carb diet is better for you is because it trains your body to break down the fat for energy instead of depending on a glucose overload. So, yeah. There you go. Simple. The more you know, right?
Right. And I'll say this, like, diet is probably like the biggest step that most people can take. If you just start with, like, figure out how many calories is your maintenance, drop a little bit off the top, and make sure that it's like, start with the sugary stuff. Like the easiest thing that most people can cut out right now is candy or soda. Soda especially. A lot of people drink soda. Okay, you actually look pretty fit, so we'll allow it. Like,
well,
and I'm talking about like if you're someone who is struggling with your weight loss, do you drink a lot of soda? I used to drink like 5 or 6 cans a day, and after I quit and I tried to drink it again just to taste it, it was too sweet. My palate adapted. Imagine that.
Yeah, after about 2 weeks, you can kick a habit if you can change it after about 2 weeks.
3 weeks. That's what the science says lately. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, for me, whenever I did quit soda, around 2 weeks, it's like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I guess it just depends on like people's physiology and like what they're absolutely dependent on. But yeah, it's like like Crash said, 90% of weight management is your diet. And I'm not saying diet as in you go on a diet. I'm saying diet as in just what you consume. And he's right. If you do drink soda or sweet tea or anything like that, if you can kick that and drink water, you'll probably drop 10 to 15 pounds in a month just by switching to water.
Yeah.
You go to a high protein, fat, and not fat as in sugars, but fat as in actual fat stuff, that fatty foods like, bacon, meat, protein, avocados are high dense in fat, and nuts. You do that, and when I did carnivore and I stopped drinking soda, I lost 15 pounds in about 3 weeks, and it was ridiculous. And I felt like it's hard for me to do that long term though, because I don't produce lipase anymore. So I've got to take a supplement, and even then, like, my pancreas doesn't like it. So I have to keep a little bit of carb in there, which you should do anyway. You do like a low amount of carbs each day is fine, and you can have a cheat day too. Like, make a day for a cheat day, and it's fine. Like, it's not going to completely ruin you. Just don't put yourself into a diabetic coma.
Yeah, don't do 6,000 calories in a day.
Yeah. And one, like, for people who like sweets, like ice cream and stuff like that, there's actually an ice cream called Rebel, and it's a keto ice cream. There's no crazy preservatives or anything in it. It's mostly just like natural flavors, cocoa, stuff like that. Like, I like the triple chocolate. It tastes just like regular ice cream, and I'm not kidding. I know a lot of people say stuff like that tastes like cardboard. This is actually really tasty, but you'll also notice that it will not fill you up and bloat you like regular ice cream will either, because it's mostly just natural foods and flavors, and there's no sugar in it. I think each container's got like 5 grams of carbs in it. It's actually really tasty, and I was surprised. And
I'll have to look for that. I haven't had ice cream in a long time.
It's if you like chocolate, get the triple chocolate, but they've got like butter pecan and cookie dough and a couple of others too. So yeah, it's pretty good. Crash.
What's up?
I guess we'll go ahead and do this. I believe you got a shipment, didn't you?
I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's test time for quality, because Mr. Crash, go ahead and blow yourself up.
Okay. Nope, that's not right.
It's the first button.
Yeah. How do we change it to?
I don't know.
This one. There we go.
There you go.
This is the 199 shirt. It's got small print on both sides. It's a comfy shirt. Let's see. Next Level Apparel.
Is it a tri-blend? It looked
God,
like
I
a
can't read
tri-blend.
that. The print's so small. Holy crap. Criminy. Getting too old. Hold on, I gotta turn on the overhead light.
No, no problem.
To read this. Uh, 60% algodon and 40% polyester. Oh, never mind. That's a different language. 60% cotton, 40% polyester.
Okay. So it's not just a cotton blend.
No. Dang, dude. I gotta admit that I don't know if you can tell. I mean, it looks like a screen print to me.
Yeah.
Like it's a real cheap print. I can already tell that it's flaking a little bit already. And I just got the shirt. Yeah, literally it just arrived yesterday.
Keep talking, cause
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab something myself.
Okay. But I mean, I'm wearing one of your shirts right now. And this shirt, I've had it for a month. It's like no wear on this, man. Not at all.
Is that the new tech?
Yeah, this is new tech. No wear on this at all. And this one, I mean, I'm still gonna wear the shirt. Obviously, I gotta support
obviously,
the 199 crew. But Jeremy, if you see this on some random chance, dude, we can do better for you. I promise you.
100%.
Yes.
So let's blow me up. All right. This is a sample that I got. Now, one thing that how do we switch it to you back to you?
So I'll let you do it so you can learn how to do it. If you look at the top left of my little picture on the bottom.
Okay, gotcha.
So the layout, yeah.
Okay, so hold that up again. The front.
Where'd it go?
Okay, so you'll notice there's only 2 colors. And screen print, that is a huge handicap for them. They can only do so many colors because the more colors you add, the less definition you have, and the more flaking and chipping you're going to have because you're basically layering ink. This is the sample that they sent me.
Oh, I like that. Wow.
Now, you will never get a screen print like that. You will never get the
Holy
detail.
crap, look at that. That's like photo quality right there, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like the Pete Buttigieg shirt that I got too.
So another thing
quality.
too, this is something that I do not recommend that Crash does with his shirt because it will probably immediately crack all the shit. But
yeah, I'm trying to be careful with this thing. I want to make it last. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah. There's no cracks. No chips. And it went completely back to the state it was in. And they this tech, one of their samples that they did, they washed the shirt 50 times. And the reason the grade on the shirt went down wasn't because of the print, it's because the shirt faded. Like everything was completely the same colors, no fading, same, like nothing was wrong with it. So yeah, like that's what we're trying to do. And I guess we'll go ahead and let everyone know, like, we have found space. And I went and talked to these guys. This is for, if you guys got the Make Marvel Mail Again shirt, they're the guys, the first run of that was screen print, but it's because the print shop I was using, and keep in mind, this is the one I was using is the one that shit completely out. and just stopped fulfilling orders because, and I think I found out what it was. Half of their customer service reps, which there's like 4, the 2 best ones just walked out. And the fill person that they put in for me, like I said, he was not on top of shit at all. But they wouldn't do it because they were worried about copyright, even though it was parody. This other shop, which is closer to me, said, yeah, we'll do it. Like, no questions asked. They didn't care. And I met the owner, talked to him, and he's excited about it because I told him, like, you guys need to get on this because this is where it's going. And we talked, like, I'm going to help them out with smaller customers and stuff, because if it's not a win-win for everyone, like, why do it, right?
Right.
And I would much rather help these guys out because the other shop just they've burned that bridge. But yeah, we've got a space.
All right.
We found the machines.
But Willie, for $2 on Rumble.
What?
Thank you, sir.
Willie, dude.
I think he sent an emoji, but it didn't load for me because I just got a little square icon where it would normally be an emoji. So sorry,
Yeah.
Willie. I don't know if you can see it, Cam, or if it didn't load.
Yeah,
If it's the Rumble.
I got it.
Okay.
Dude, Willie, thank you so much, man. That's, damn it. Willie is the man.
Yeah.
Because he knows he doesn't have to do that. But dude, seriously, I appreciate the support. But pretty soon, I'm gonna try to have it up for next week, definitely. I'm gonna talk with Crash and a couple of other guys, and we're going to launch a campaign to purchase our own machine. And
yeah, fuck it, we'll do it.
Yeah,
that's the stage we're at. It's just like, we'll do it.
yeah, like pretty much. I'm going to talk with some of the clients and let them know what's going on, because we definitely want to get it spread around. The goal, I mean, look, it's not cheap, but it is cheap compared to what most people would need. Like, and especially with screen printing, like screen printing machinery is ridiculously expensive compared to what this is. But yeah, we're gonna launch it. We're gonna see what we can get, because I absolutely believe in what I'm making. And if anyone needs a convincing of just how good this stuff is, let's see, where is it at? Hold on. Ah, damn it. I bet this isn't gonna play with audio, is it?
It depends on how you're sharing it. It depends on what kind of file you're trying to share.
It's not. It is not going to do this. Okay, so what we'll do, I'll upload this to the YouTube channel. We'll make it private, because holy shit, did we get a very good endorsement.
Oh, I know what you're...
You know.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't take that long.
Nah.
But yeah, guys, that's where I want to take it to. Like, I'm tired of dealing with third parties, because they just don't. They're not going to be as active as what I would be. Like, it was all right before, because those 2 customer service reps, they took care of shit, but it it was still like a delay, and they still messed up on orders, and it was just frustrating. And we'll just make this private. Or no, we'll do unlisted. There we go. Yeah, it takes the middleman out. It's direct to you. We keep the same pricing for you guys, so it doesn't, like, a lot of people when they do it on their own, they take the prices up. I'm not going to do that. And again, I don't care if I don't make any money off this for a while to get the machinery paid off to whoever helps out, or if we've got like a big investor or something like that, because I want to make good shit, quality shit that you guys like, and it's built to last, not just built to fall apart after a few washes. Because I do have I've got some of the earlier shirts that were screen printed, and actually let me go grab them, because it's incredibly easy to tell why screen printing is, I'm sorry to say it, it's just inferior.
Yep. Facts are facts. Trust the science.
Facts are facts. And watch, I won't be able to fucking find a thing.
I mean, if you need me
So
to find one of the
usually-
older shirts, I probably got some in my closet.
Yeah. Let's see. Maybe I can use this one. Yeah. Okay, this will work. Oh shit. Whoops. Okay, so
I've got one after dark.
the original.
Oh wow.
This is the shirt that I gave to Chrissy, which had the Friday Night Tights on the back. So I haven't worn this shirt much because I'm not going to wear it around the kids, but you can already see like where
Yeah.
it's chipped and where it's starting to come apart, and I don't care to do this, so. I'm going to do the same thing that I did to the other shirt. Let's see what we get here. It's going to be kind of hard to stretch a shirt, I think. Like, you can already see where the lines have popped in from where I stretched it like that.
Yeah.
And now it's all wrinkled up. So yeah. This is our goal. And let's see.
Does that machine work on like the?
It works on any fabric.
Okay.
Yes,
Just
it will
checking,
work
'cause,
on any fabric. And that's another thing about screen printing. Screen printing on tri-blend, it is not gonna last long at all. And this, you can put it on polyester, so you can put it on like tracksuits, you can put it on sweatpants, you can put it on jackets, bags, hats, whatever you want to put it on, it will go on.
Will work on hats?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm.
As long as you've got you're able to heat press it the right way.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Without it getting too messed up. Okay, so that's got to go through a checking process. So anyway, yeah, campaign's coming soon. We're gonna work on it. I'm gonna talk with Chrissy and X-Ray, Frank, and see if I can talk to a few other people who might help with the word out. And when it comes out, the biggest thing for it is just going to be sharing it. So if you guys don't, Yeah, I'm asking just please share it because this is something I believe in. And if we get way above our target goal, then I'm just going to buy the bigger machine because why not? I can make it'll. That just means there'll be more shirts made faster, and it'll cut down on production time for us. What? Okay. All right, here we go. The endorsement of a lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the great yeah, the other thing I got, Dave, saw you in Greenville, gave you some crappy t-shirts, but you and Derek absolutely fucking killed,
Thank you.
and people should go watch your show. Seriously, live.
Thank you very
And
much.
congrats on New World because certain people lost very fucking excellent talent, and it's awesome seeing you guys grow each week.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Did you give me the Disney shirts?
Yeah, the Magic Roomdom.
Oh, dude, I wear those. They're not crap.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep. Those came from the site. Yeah, we actually made them. So.
Oh, dude,
I'm
those.
glad you like them, dude.
I do
And
like them.
appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, they're comfy, man. I want to wear it on the show
Yes.
for you.
No, dude. I'm trying to get our third-party producer crapped on us with fulfillment. So I've got a place. We're just trying to get the machines because I'm going to go like direct to customer because I'm not going to deal with that again.
Oh, right on, dude. I thought they were funny, man, and they are actually a comfortable fabric, which was nice. Because sometimes people give you that like crunchy, hard stuff, and you're
dude,
like,
Yes.
yeah, and you're like, oh, and
Everybody knows. Everybody knows what that's about.
Yeah, they do.
Carrie Lake gave me the most comfortable T-shirt I own, but it says Carrie Lake, so I can't like wear it around unless I'm campaigning.
Gary's
for it.
using
Like,
Tri
I
Blend.
sleep in it. Flagrant Trigger. Do you have a website where you sell your shirts?
Yeah, it's flagranttriggers.com. We're just temporarily down because again that third-party producer just crapped out on us because we're a small business and we weren't bringing in the numbers of bigger businesses. So
Thanks.
I
But
said,
people should save it and check it out later.
well, you tell me when you
I'd
go
rather-
back up, and I'll rock it on the show for you.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're gonna try to crowdfund just to see if we can get some of the brunt of the startup costs out of the way. But I'm just gonna do direct to customer because that's just way better, and I know the work will get done.
Cool, man.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for calling in.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one, dude.
Thank you.
All right.
I mean, does it get better than that?
I know, right?
Like seriously?
Epic.
Yeah, that was good. That absolutely made my night, my week, everything.
All right. Are we going to disclose this now, or do you want to wait till the campaign launch? Thoughts?
I mean, it'll be on the campaign. I don't guess it's that big of a deal. What do you think?
I mean, we can tease it. Just the kind of the total that we're looking to raise. I think that's fine.
Yeah. So the total for the machine, and this is with the machine, with 2 packs of the inks and everything for just to keep a backup supply, and then order as needed. And then it comes with the press that we need, and covers the filter for the fumage that comes off, and the shirts that we're going to use, and probably a little promotional stuff too. We're looking at, for the small machine, we're going to aim for 24,000, which, yeah, I mean, that covers everything, gives a little padding, and I mean, it covers everything and has a little bit there, like if we're slow, to cover the rent, stuff like that. The bigger machine, like if we reach that, I'm gonna say if we get a good bit above that, I'm just going to get the bigger machine
Mhm.
because it just makes sense. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Like, again, it's not cheap, but it's not too crazy expensive for, you know, an independent business startup to get everything rolling and going and out the door, because we don't need a storefront. Like, that's where a lot of cost comes in to starting up a
Mhm.
business, especially if you deal with the public and you want people to walk in, is you got to have a storefront, so you got to pay crazy rent, and then you got to pay taxes to the city and or wherever you're at and all that shit. But yeah, that's what we're looking at, and we're gonna try and offload as much as we can. Yeah, it's not like, especially for a startup and just the amount of production we'll be able to do with it. Because even the small machine will easily cover like what we were doing. But that producer that I was using, they really fucked me on having the confidence to try to pitch to some other big accounts, and that made me super mad because one of the accounts, I'll go ahead and disclose this. One of the accounts I had a shot at was Gays Against Groomers, and that would have been huge, especially for a small independent fit. Um, Chris Gore was someone else that I was looking at, because his store, those items are, dude, he's got fucking great shirts on there as far as designs and everything. And I was talking with Odin from Friday Night Tights, and I was going to talk to Flawed. And I mean, it's not like growth wasn't there, because, and it honestly, it's thanks to you guys, because if you guys weren't buying the stuff, then it wasn't going to grow. People wouldn't have any interest. And if it wasn't getting, like, when things were good and it was getting to everyone and we didn't have that many issues, and the biggest screw up was, hey, I ordered 2 shirts and I only got 1, like, everything was going well. And then, but when those people quit and I got stuck with the person who didn't know what he was doing, or just didn't have the drive, or couldn't prioritize, whatever it was, I didn't feel comfortable trying to continue to pitch and grab other people um, for the business, because I didn't want it to start out day one and then there's customers complaints and the customers contacted them. Like, it would just, all that would have done was created a really bad name for the brand. Nobody would have had trust in it, and it would have just fallen apart. And that's something, if you do have a small business, that's something you have to think about. You cannot just grind away all your good efforts because someone else is not doing their job. And I mean, I put it off for probably for longer than I should have, because I wanted to give them a chance, because things were going good. I wanted to see if they could turn it around. But after, I don't know, after a month or a month and a half, I was just like, yeah, this ain't working. So again, it did stop. It stopped what we're doing, but I'd rather be on a temporary pause than the brand just collapse. Yeah. Anyway, we have good endorsements,
Yes.
and it's I really didn't think Dave even wore the shirt. I thought I took him to it because he was like a little, I don't know, he just seemed a little off that night. But I think it's because a lot. This was when no one knew what was going on with Crowder, and everyone was asking him about it.
Mm.
He had like a 6'2" drunk guy just that he called out in the crowd, just hammering on him, like just standing right beside him the whole time. People were in the line just trying to see Dave and just talking to him and yakking and yakking and yakking. Rob, we're looking at a couple of different things. I haven't thought about the leveraging up front, but Yeah, I don't know. That would probably, we'd have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because since I'm on disability, I don't have the assets or the liquidity to offload that. So that's why we're looking at the crowdfunding thing. And we got to talk some, but we're going to talk about like if someone's investing big, like giving them some cake to go with their help for sure. Because again, I'm not fucking greedy. Like, if you're gonna help me make this a thing, I'm gonna be forever grateful to you, and I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you some kudos on top of it, like, because I really do believe. I actually believe in the product, and that's the biggest thing for me. Like, I know it's a good shirt. I know it. I know this tech is good. I know it will last, and I know that if I do it directly, I won't have to deal with other people's shit. So. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. That might be a good thing.
I mean, that's something to look at if you come up short on the crowdfund. But if the crowdfund covers it, then you don't need the loan.
Yeah. We're gonna put the campaign together first and see what we can get going with that, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, I've yacked too much about this.
Yeah, we were just gonna tease, and we basically just gave the whole thing away.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keep, stay tuned. Campaign will be launching soon. We're gonna get this thing back off the ground. That's what you do when you fall off the horse. You get back up.
That's it. And that's exactly what I'm doing, because this is, I mean, like I said, I've never really worked most jobs that you work. I don't think anyone actually believes in the product that they make. For most jobs.
Yeah.
There are very few jobs left where you're like, damn, this is a damn good product and it helps people and it lasts. Like when I was working for AT&T at a call center, we did customer service, but our secondary job was to get them to buy AT&T internet and shit. And AT&T at the time was still going off the phone jack, and I'm like, this is dog shit. Like, people have cable. Why would they want this? And I had so much trouble just selling. Like, my customer service scores were off the charts. My selling stuff though was not, because I'm just not. Sorry. Yeah, I don't have any drive to push shit that people don't need.
My gosh, Rob.
Damn.
Leave the horse alone. Come on.
Oh man. So what's next, man? Should we talk a little bit about the Red Pill world?
Gosh, I wish the Red Pill world would just go on permanent mute forever. It's just getting annoying and cringe and.
Yeah, I think Red Pill's about to run its course. I think
they mastered the art of the rage engagement. Like, just look at Pearl.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, as far as engagement goes, yeah, she's. I mean, that's what a master grifter does. You got to be a master baiter.
Well, I think there's definitely good things to be found in that world. I think they just go overboard with it. Like, yes,
they're great at identifying the problem. I think the issue with them is their prescribed solutions, I don't think actually help. I think it just makes things worse.
Yeah, like Andrew Tate, for example. He's like, go make money, buy Bugattis and Ferraris and shit. I'm like, dude, 99% of the population will never be able to do that, and it doesn't matter how hard they work at something. Like, that is a small niche thing. You are definitely the top 0.5% of the 1%.
Yeah.
And I do believe that, yes, you should work towards something. You should have goals in mind. You should try to better yourself each day. I think that is huge. The problem is I 100% believe social media is the problem. because the most common example is just the reach that girls have to the unaccessible guys now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's true. Like, social media has painted this fantastical life of Instagram models who are traveling all over the world, who are always having fun, who are partying every day, who have all their needs taken care of. They don't have to do shit because they're arm candy and trophy. And that's not how a serious relationship is created. Like 50 years ago, if you didn't date within your small town, you weren't dating. And 50 years ago, fives were the fives, sixes were sixes, 7, 8s, and 9s intermingled a little bit, and then 10s were with 10s. Maybe 9s. Like 9s and 10s, that's who they dated. 7 and 8s, that's who they dated. 5s and 6s, that's who they generally dated. And social media's just flipped that on its head. Like now, 3s think they're 7s. And the movements that have been created, like women are most of them are okay just completely letting themselves go. Like, and I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but women do not take care of their bodies anywhere near like they used to. They don't care if they get fat. They don't try to keep themselves decently appearing. And don't get me wrong, like I am definitely more of a natural looks guy. I'd rather have you natural with no makeup than I would you painting your face for an hour before we go out somewhere. And it's not just because of the time sink that goes into it. It's just if I like you, I like you for you, no matter what you look like. And but social media is painting this thing where guys should be hardworking. They should make all the money, and all their money should go to making women's lives comfortable. And that's not reality. At least it shouldn't be, because if it is, the 6 and unders are never going to find a fulfilling relationship, and maybe even the 7s. And if you do, you're going to have someone who doesn't have any skills that make a home and a relationship worth living. And I posted on Twitter, I can't remember who I was replying to, but it's like, guys don't want to go bust their ass every day and then come home and have to cook or eat fast food every fucking day because you can't cook or make a decent meal or share in doing that. And I'm not saying like women shouldn't have their own jobs or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. But guys have more skills than women do by a vast degree now, in my opinion. Because I don't hardly know any woman that can cook or doesn't go out and buy fast food or something easy to do. And it's really, guys are pretty simple. It's like, throw some steak on. Like, steak's not hard to cook at all. Chicken's not hard to cook at all. It takes like 10 minutes at the most. And I don't know, it's really hard. And when you try to broach the subject with women, they all get extremely defensive. And they say, no, that's not it. But most women 100% look for the guy who can give them the easiest life, not the most secure relationship. And it has resulted in a lot of young single guys who don't stand a fucking chance because girls their age are looking at the older guys who can make it easier for them or can offer them the more fun time. And it's like Tim Pool says, a guy in his 20s offers a date to a girl in their 20s. And it's like, yeah, we'll go to the movie and then, we can go back and hang out or go for a walk. And then they get hit up on Instagram because they happen to be like an 8 or above. And it's like, from some dude who just sees them as an easy way to have fun and the girl looks good. And they're like, hey, if you want to come out, we'll go to the casino, and then we'll go to the lake. We can ride jet skis, and then we can go to this party out in the city or by the lake or some awesome fun place. Almost 100% of the time, the girl's going to pick the older guy because the social conditioning has been to have as much fun for the least amount of effort, and that's a big reason I think that society is decaying, and it's a big reason why I think we see all these polyamorous couples. So literally desperate dudes hoping to be able to fuck the girl that day, and they've given up on trying to maintain a one-on-one status. And it's reversed in a lot of ways, because the successful guys, they've always had access to multiple women, and that was, to a degree, that was accepted. You had kings, sultans, all this stuff throughout history who had multiple wives. Whether it's wrong or not, that's completely subjective to whoever's dealing with it. But now it's flipped, and women are still looking for that easy time, and now they've got the guys who will lick their asshole and march in whatever pussy parade they want to stay in the good graces and hopefully get laid. And it's kind of pathetic, and it does need to change. And I think that's why I think you're seeing a better change in the independent space, because the independent space is definitely more based on populist ideals, and populism still has a decent grasp into monogamy and a secure relationship that builds toward a future, and you resolve problems together instead of fucking whoever you can and living a life of debauchery. Like, we don't care if people do that, but it's not ideal. So there's my speech on it.
Good rant, man. Good rant. I'm a Z.
Yeah.
I actually used to like her when she first came out, but I think the grift got to her head, honestly. I think it just became all about the attention and perhaps some part the money. I'm sure she's doing pretty well in that department too. Seems pretty successful, but
she's probably got
I just don't think it's worth sacrificing your soul for engagement.
No. Or your ideals. You shouldn't sacrifice. If someone offers you to do something because it'll make you more popular or get you more money or make things easier for you, and it's just something you need to do, oh, it's just this one time, nothing like that, don't fucking do it. Like, have some fucking stones and stop caring about what's easy. You'll never be fulfilled if you always do the easy shit.
We're addicted to easy.
Yeah.
That's what I think is the core of the issues.
Easy and convenience.
We want our participation trophies. Don't I get a trophy for just showing up?
Yeah.
Can I just get a paycheck for being here?
Yeah.
No.
Can I be late every day?
God, did you I'm about to have a conniption. I'm trying to remember who reviewed this. There was an influencer who was reviewing this TikTok. There's this new thing out there that they're trying to trend. They're calling it time blindness. I'm like, no, you're just, yeah.
I know exactly
what
time.
You just like a watch and some freaking integrity. Like, I mean, if you don't know where to check the time, obviously, if you don't, first of all, it's always on here if you don't have a watch.
Well, I mean, she recorded the video on her phone. Surely to God, it has a damn clock on it.
Right.
Let's see if I can. I'm gonna look it up.
You gonna look that one up? Yeah, I just happened to see that again today. Show up on one of my recommends, and I was just like, oh Lord.
I found it. Here we go. And shout out to the old libs of TikTok. Always. Always bringing us the best leftist cringe. Check this out, guys.
So I just got yelled at for asking a very reasonable question. So I'm applying to go.
Did you hear the words that came out of her mouth? A very reasonable question.
Somewhere, and I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time? You know. And then the person I was with interrupted and acted like I was asking something else. And then when we were done, they actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist. And if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job. You know.
It's just the truth, ma'am.
Yeah. People keep hours for a reason.
On time. Like if like I mean, the most that I've seen is at a job is flex hours, where you get a 2-hour window, show up at between like 7 to 9, work your 8 hours, and then take off at the appropriate time. Just make sure you get your full 8 in. But like beyond that, if you are not independent, where you're your own boss, and even then, depending on what you're doing, like if you own a bar, it's not going to do very well if you're open from starting at 4 a.m. and closing at 10 a.m. You know, during breakfast hours and brunch hours. You know, like time still matters, even if you're independent and your own boss a lot of the times.
Well, I mean, take the bartender, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Some places need 2 bartenders. Let's say someone has time blindness. They're always late. They're like 2 hours late. Well, when the shift started, it was around a lunch rush. And so now the one bartender is dealing with all those customers on their own. The customers are getting their drinks slower and slower as time goes by. As they get their drinks slower and slower, the customers get pissed off, and then they start complaining. And there's a chance you will lose a customer or customers. So yes, it actually impacts how well that job does, how well the business goes, and how much money you're going to make. And if they're not making the same amount of money, and then people stop showing up, guess who's going to lose their fucking job? The person who's always fucking late that caused the whole issue. Like,
it should be.
They act like people like this act like there are no consequences to their actions, which is why I'm fucking highly against abortion.
Like, we have a real problem with boundaries with this culture coming up. It's because that's an issue with boundaries right there. There's an expectation, and if you don't meet it, you're basically in violation there, and you should incur the consequences. It's as simple as that.
Right.
At least the job loss, yeah.
That is facts. Facts. Yeah, it's I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, this is how you can tell these people don't have a realistic approach to life. And like, the boundaries thing is showing up a whole lot in the anti-masculine movement. Guys are typically the ones who enforce boundaries the most because they're more aggressive, they know what they want, and they deal with things on a competitive field when it comes to stuff like that. And they're trying to completely take that out of the male psyche, and it's not going to lead to good things. Like, if you just got a bunch of pussy boys who won't stand up for themselves, they're going to be hiding behind you, not protecting you. Yeah, I absolutely. If someone would have given me the excuse that they have time blindness when I was supervising and they were always late, yeah. My next step is going to be to go to the manager and be of the department and be like, yeah, this person needs to go. Because I didn't have direct hire and fire stuff, because that's another thing which also creates an issue with today in the job market. Everything goes through HR now. Even if someone is blatantly late all the time, chronically doing something they're not supposed to, it's always, well, they got to do it so many times, or, well, we just have to accommodate them, and it's become this whole human resources bullshit excuse for letting people do dumb shit.
I think there needs to be a move towards more of a contractor model of employment. I think it'll solve a lot of those issues because then everything's just in black and white on paper. These are the terms. If you violate them, contract severed. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation to businesses out there struggling with HR issues because of regulations. It doesn't touch the contractor market because it's always up to your contract. I mean, there's some things that you still have to comply with in general, but there's just a lot more leeway there.
Mm. Well, one of the things that I've always hated in North Carolina is the other duties as assigned. I hated that clause because I was always extremely good at figuring out the most efficient way to do things. And most jobs that I did, I could cut down by 30 to 50% on time spent doing it. And the other duty, like they would put me in different fucking departments, not even doing anything near what was close to my actual job description. But did they compensate me for doing other jobs? Of course not.
No.
And that's something that I always hated. And as I've gotten older, I realize how shitty it is that they throw stuff like that in there, because they'll give you a job description, which is basically your contract as to what your duties are for your primary job, but then they'll just throw other shit at you if they need you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess that's a discussion to be had. But I mean, to me, yeah, if you're going to have somebody doing, you hire somebody for one job and that is their job, and they are really good at that job, and they cut down on the time spent on that job. If you're going to make them do a different job that pays a different rate, you should compensate them for that. In my opinion, I don't know. What, maybe other people don't think that, but. And what the really bad part too is people like that are usually the ones that get ground into the dirt by the managers or supervisors, because they know they'll do the harder work, and they know, like, they'll become one of the hardest workers, and they get treated worse than the shittiest one. Like, if you don't, like, the people like that, if they mess up one little thing, they'll get berated to the end of the day.
Well, this is why employee retainage is such a issue, or it has been for years at this point. Like, I think the average, and this is old data, that like there was a point where the average time spent at a job was like a year and a half.
Mm.
I wouldn't surprise me if it's gotten worse since then. And it's like, that's insane. It's barely enough time to get, like fully onboarded and trained as to what you're doing. And I mean, like, unless you are coming from a very similar position from whatever you were doing before, unless it was just like something that you could kind of hit the ground running. I mean, most times at least I know for myself, like my job, just being an electrical engineer, I've had to be very flexible. So I had to take several months to learn what their systems are and how to work with them and integrate with their systems and be efficient.
Mm-hmm.
You can't always just jump right in unless you're doing the exact same thing. They're using the exact same like systems that you were using before?
That's like that supervising job I had. I started off as a temp, and because of my education and those degrees that I had, the department manager wanted to hire me on as a supervisor right away. But I'd never done anything like that, especially not for a major manufacturing plant.
Mm-hmm.
Like I definitely could have learned it quickly, but I didn't have the knowledge of that job at the time, because the job I was doing was just a straight manual labor job. Well, so instead of hiring me on as a supervisor, they hired me on as a team lead, and they said if everything goes well, then in a year, you'll be good. I mean, it took me like a couple of weeks to learn everything that I needed to do, and I ended up with my shift we were the highest production shift. We got the most shit done, and everything was taken care of that we needed to get taken care of, even if people were out, because I knew how to move people around and keep the workflow going. And so you can't just jump from one thing to another if you've had absolutely no training with it. But it's people who work hard are really they're it's not even undercompensated, they're just not compensated.
Right. Yeah, they're doing above and beyond what they're hired for. There should be additional compensation, in my opinion. Another thing though that just reminded me, like 18 months, there are people, I don't know how many of them are out there, what percentage of the workforce, that do this job hopping on purpose. It's because they know that that's like the amount of time that it takes before you're expected to actually start producing as efficient as the team that's already been there. But like you're there for a year, like maybe like 14 months, and you're like, oh, sorry, I'm heading off to this other city. And meanwhile, you haven't actually done anything. They actually, like at one job, they actually came to bite me because I had just started at this one place, and the guy who left, we found out that this project that had been going on for a long time, he had done nothing, absolutely nothing on it. So the other guy that was on that project had to get help from a third person so we had to do all this project shuffling. So I ended up just getting this other project that had nothing done on it, because the guy who went to go help fill in the other gap, and these two guys were working like into the night, trying to catch up on all this programming and get this thing ready for launch. I had to take this other project on. I had like 3 weeks to go before they were opening up for the season, and I had to put together this, or help to put together this program on my end. I'm just starting at this job.
Yeah.
And I'm just given 3 weeks, blank slate, nothing had happened. I mean, other things had happened, but like on our end, like for our stuff. So I just remember that, like that kind of, I mean, it wrecks productivity, like just in general. Like when you do that, like please don't be that guy. It's not cool.
It wrecks morale too. Like I had the best production shift for the whole time I was there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and it was sad. Like no other shift even came remotely close either. Like it was ridiculous. Like once I learned everything, you couldn't touch that shift, no matter how hard you tried to work. And that's with, like, when people were out, I just knew how to move people around, and you talk to your people and you make sure everybody's helping each other out. And it was the amount that I did for them. Like I was like a golden goose. I was just turning out numbers every single day, and they didn't care. It was like, good. Now, because upper management was like, all right, that's more money in my pocket. And it's kind of crazy too, because this is how businesses are, and this is what people need to realize and why they need to look for alternatives. That the job that I had, my job would have been safe. But for the regular workers, it wouldn't have been, because they were looking at automation. And automation was going to just phase people out. They would have gotten a huge return on it, because for each person that they could get rid of, that was an extra probably 50,000 after, insurance and all that shit. Every person that they could trim down was a $50,000 bonus to them, basically. And it got to a point to where now there's just a skeleton crew that runs that area. Last time I talked to someone who still works there. And that is what companies are doing. Look at even the fast food chains. They got the fucking robot making hamburgers. Like, it's coming, people.
Learn to code, people.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. Programming, coding, software building.
I mean, hardware too.
Anything
There's definitely a demand on the hardware side. There's not enough people to understand. Yeah, dealing with electrical at all levels. Like, I mean, I can tell you that I get a lot of people reach out to me all the time. I don't even have my resume out there, but I put it out there enough times that people just find me. I don't even know what copy of the resume they're looking at, but I get phone calls all the time, and I'm just like, leave me alone. I don't want to go anywhere right now. I'm like, we need more of electrical engineers who can do all this stuff, program, electrical, power. I mean, doesn't have to be programming. There's all kinds of things in the electrical engineering space, radio frequency stuff. I started off in power systems.
I mean, look at what like computer shops, the people who are really good at fixing circuit boards, like, that's electrical engineering. And
yeah, it is. So yeah, you don't even necessarily have to go and get, like your bachelor's in electrical or beyond that. You can go to the certified route with the IT space overlaps with it a lot now. And there's a bunch of certs where you can learn everything that you need, especially in the computer realm. Like, there's so many certs. Just get like 2 or 3 to start off with. You can do it in a self-learning thing. Get your test, pass it, and
dude,
you'll be golden.
I'm always ahead of the curve on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying years ago, like big MMORPGs and games like that.
By the way,
they're going.
I love this.
Yeah, I saw that. These games are going to go to AI. AI is going to be in charge of the game instead of developers, because AI will be able to make changes right then. Like World of Warcraft. Take World of Warcraft, for example. Instead of developers having to program and change the areas or program dungeons or new items or stuff like that, and AI will be able to do it in infinitely faster if it knows all the models and learns the coding and how to implement it into a game. That is absolutely where gaming is going to. Because
I don't think that an AI centralized development environment will do as well as someone who utilizes AI and has a actual programmer behind it still, because I don't see the quality of AI, especially on things as story writing, ever getting to a point where you're going to actually replace a human. I just don't think it's going to get there, because it's going to look for the shortest path, and the shortest path is going to generally focus on quantity, putting it out there. What gets the most, like, it might get engagement, but it's going to leave a lot of people feeling empty. And so there's going to still be an independent space that I think is going to thrive.
I don't know, because see, the reason I question it is because look at the stories ChatGPT can already put out. It can write pretty well if you give it a prompt. And have you seen the AI for the AI mod that they did on Skyrim?
No.
Yeah, check this shit out.
I mean, I never played Skyrim, so I don't know much about it.
Which one was it? We'll check this one out. Yeah, this is it. So, yeah, this is crazy, dude.
The first AI voice companion in the world you can actually talk to using your voice. Erica, can you carry my burdens better than Lydia?
Oh, you poor thing. Are you still traumatized from the last time Lydia dropped all your pots and pans? Don't worry, moist boy. I've got your back and your burdens. Plus.
And you can even customize her voice, personality, and turn her into your ultimate Skyrim waifu. But you're probably wondering to yourself, how well does this Skyrim mod work, and is it going to be worth the money and time to set up? First, meet Moist Boy, a very damp level 1 Argonian who's about to set out on his own adventure with Herica to see the impact of Skyrim AI followers on gameplay. And if you ask me, this really adds a whole new level of gameplay onto what already exists in Skyrim. And we're going to need a small hoard of gold to fund this video before we go off and start fighting dragons. So first, here's a word from today's sponsor. Call of Dragons Skyrim adventure is going to begin like any other, just here on the map in Whiterun, where we can pick up Erica as a follower. Okay, so she should be somewhere here in the city. Here she is. Here she is. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today, Erica? Are you well?
Oh, moist boy, you never fail to make me laugh with your creative mispronunciations. But it's Harika, not Erica.
Oh,
and I'm doing just fine, thank you.
This is mind-blowing. So I should call you Erica? Is that pronunciation correct? Erica?
Oh, moist boy, you really know how to push my buttons. No, you shouldn't call me Erica. It's Harika with an H. But hey.
Okay, so let me get this right. It's Harika.
It's Harika, just Harika.
Okay then, just Harika. So we've now got Herica as a follower, and we're about to begin our adventure into the open world of Skyrim. Currently, we've explored absolutely nothing.
Pause it for a second.
Let's go over to Iron.
Like, what did the AI do this from scratch without prompt? Or was it still guided? Because there's a difference there.
Well, he said you could adjust it. I don't know if he just did this out of the box.
Oh, well, I mean, like, this is just... Is the AI part is just the personality, the Herica personality?
Well, it also takes action, too. Like, you'll see that coming up. It's not just a chat reply and make commentary thing. You can actually give it instruction, or it'll act on its own in certain situations.
Well, I'm talking about, like, I was under the impression that this was developed by an AI.
No. The AI is in charge of the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bind barrier, which is around here on the map. Herica, I've taken you here to the battlements of Whiterun, so we can look out over the world. And I can ask you where you'd like to. Hey, Herica, there's some wolves ahead of us on the road. Do you think you can take them out for us?
Oh, absolutely, moist boy. I'll just take out those wolves with my incredible archery skills while you sit back and watch.
Oh,
Maybe I'll even do it blindfolded.
Damn, okay. Big flex. There's some wolves just here. Hey, Erica, we're near the wolves. Go ahead and kill them. They're right in front of us. Attack, Erica, attack.
All right. No need to shout. I'm on it, moist boy. Let's show those wolves what we're made of.
Yeah. Look out, Erica. I'm being attacked. Oh, a nice shot.
Well, that was easy enough. These wolves really need to up their game if they want to challenge us. Maybe they should consider taking archery lessons or something. Oh, thank you, Moist Boy. Guess they couldn't resist the charm of Moist Boy and Harika. I suppose my talent with a bow is just natural. It's not like I spend countless hours practicing.
See, it's not perfect, but like this is going to get infinitely better.
Yeah, I'm not arguing on that, and I'm still just talking about I'm expecting that the entertainment space is going to run into an issue if they get too heavily reliant on AI too quickly. And that is, it's going to seek to just churn out stories at the sacrifice of you're just not going to end up with quality, because AI still has to be guided to a certain extent. Like when you build an AI, first the AI has to be built, and then it also has to be trained. And if you don't take the time to train it, you're not gonna, it's going to be garbage in, garbage out. So
yeah,
in the hands of not just a good developer, but also a creative developer, I think you're going to get some good shit potentially. I think what will ultimately be good for the space is as long as it doesn't get too centralized. I think a big problem with most industries is just things being centralized. Entertainment being centralized with Hollywood. Those studios owning everything. And so they can just kind of do what they want, turn out what they want, and seemingly pay no consequence for it. Although it seems to be shifting nowadays, right? So.
Yeah, honestly though, I think letting AI be in charge of gameplay developmental features would be better for a more diverse experience. Say you had like World of Warcraft, say each server had its own AI model, and the AI reacted and changed things based on like alliance population versus horde population, where people are more dense, creature encounters, stuff like that. Like an AI would be able to create more encounters more randomly, and which I think would be a lot more fun, because a lot of people like the random roguelike aspect of like Diablo 4 or Diablo in general, because the dungeon was never the same each time you went in. It was always random what you'd get, what kind of monsters you would fight, the goals you had to reach. And I think AI would be a really good tool for that. And I was thinking about this years ago. I told my buddy, I'm like, AI is going to be big for gaming and its success later. The big problem with gaming, though, I guess it's just like everything else. You got to get the suits out of it, because all game developers care about now is the microtransactions and how much profit they can make off of individual micro cells instead of making quality stuff, which is why most games now, when they come out, are dog shit, and they have all kinds of bugs. There's issues, and not all of the issues ever get fixed, because they don't give a shit. They don't care. And it's just about getting the game out. And honestly, I think it's like the higher ups give them a deadline, and they say, we want it to launch on this day. It is going to launch on this day, and they don't care how finished it is. I think that's a big reason why you get a lot of problems with games these days.
Yeah, Microsoft kind of pioneered this whole launch and patch model that has just been a disaster for software development.
Yep.
They just launch on time, and it's always buggy as hell on launch. I'm just glad that for the most part you can opt out of updates and let things ride for a bit before you bring an update to yourself. At least for the most part, I like, at least on the gaming front, I think some companies still do a decent job on their quality control, and they're also very quick on still like hot fixing things when they do launch and it does kind of not go so well. One of the companies I think I'm kind of shy is Riot. I've liked their games for a while. League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics. I never really got into Valorant, but they seem to have a pretty good model for software development.
I like Teamfight Tactics better than League of Legends, mostly because, and it's not even like the fact that I wouldn't play League of Legends. It's just they definitely got into the model of when they bring a new character into the game, they're OP as fuck, and they get everybody to spend money to buy that character. And then they nerf the character all to shit. Like 3 weeks later or a month later after they've gotten their scarcity, or not scarcity, but the OP model gets oversaturated. I'm not a fan of that at all, and I don't like battle passes. I think battle passes are another fucking grift. Like I don't like those.
I mean, their game is like quote unquote free, so they got to make their money somewhere.
Yeah, you can definitely play League of Legends, and you can get every character. It just takes time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like they're crazy overpriced. Like it'll cost you, what is it? Well, yeah, I don't know. I think it's like $10 to get enough of the specific currency to buy a character or something like that. I don't know what I haven't looked at the pricing model recently. Maybe $20. I don't know. But
I don't remember. Yeah, because I never purchased any characters in League. I just play what I have unlocked.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good thing too. They do offer free rotations on characters each week.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a, and good God, they've got a ton of characters in that game. It is well over 100.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes it tough to switch MOBAs. Before League, I played Dota. But what kept me from playing League, even though I had more friends who played League, was that it's just like I already played Dota, like, and I just learned all these characters. I gotta start over. I mean, I eventually got into it just because I didn't have enough. I couldn't get those friends to come over to Dota, and they just insisted. Eventually, I bought into it.
Well, when League started, I started playing League when it first came out. They were adding a new character like every couple of weeks. It was ridiculous. Like they were just character, and now it takes about 3 to 6 months for them to put a new character out. So, but it's definitely oversaturated on characters. One of the things that might be interesting is instead of just continually putting out new characters for a MOBA, you change like the maps and the specific, say, kind of do like a multiverse thing, where it's the same general lane design of the map, but different universes have different rule sets. So the characters you have, depending on what universe they're in or whatever, they have different skill sets, different abilities, and they play different. So that could be something.
I like that. Well, it's kind of like how no, I guess it's a new thing. That's the latest patch. The new patch on Teamfight Tactics, the new set. It's at the beginning you get offered 3 portals, and everybody picks one, and then it kind of it's kind of like a vote, but not really because it's not majority. It's just one person gets picked randomly, and whatever portal they're on, that's where you go, and that world has a specific rule that applies. Like perhaps there's one where there's no augments that game. Or no interest, but everybody gets, flat rate gold or something like that. Things like that, or extra bonuses during the monster stages. It's been pretty fun. I actually made platinum.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm plat 4 right now.
Damn, that's awesome. Yeah, I like Teamfight Tactics. I just haven't played it in a while. Maybe we'll play some. Are you playing after this?
I did not take the time to set up my OBS, and it's also late. I can't stay up too late.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
determined to not wreck my
sleeping schedule.
Yeah, but let's aim for tomorrow. Since, well, no, you'll have your daughter at some point, right?
Yeah, she'll more than likely she'll be playing with a friend.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll contact you and update you. And we got to talk to Goodnight at some point.
Yes.
And my buddy, I'm gonna have him swing into because he'll have some be able to talk to us about some stuff as far as business stuff. But yeah, should we close it out with the one thing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I did message. Seriously, doubt I'm going to get a response back because he probably gets a ton of messages.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the best independent artists, in my opinion, has put out a new video.
This will be a live reaction from me, yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a live reaction from Crash. So, guys, we're going to check out a new video by Tom MacDonald. And no, this is not to be grifty or trendy or anything like that. Like, I genuinely believe Tom is bringing something to the culture that we need. And
Agreed.
I think people should see this. And even if it's just you guys in the audience that see it, like every single person that sees this and thinks, holy shit, that's true, or just has any kind of thought about it, like I think that's better for us than not knowing about it, which is why, sharing is caring, right? But here we go. This is Tom MacDonald and Adam Calhoun's American Flags.
My people of this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags.
This is hard off the rip and absolutely it's going to the playlist for sure.
This slaps, man.
American flags. American flags.
Nova does so good with these videos.
I ain't never gonna pretend that I give a damn. Anybody who's offended, come get it, we throwing hands. Anybody not trying to make America great again, you a punk, you a clown, better know where I stand. I'm the white boy with the middle fingers in the air, dog. We don't give a what. 100 white boys gonna hold me down anywhere, dog. We think that you suck. My patriots, the craziest, they ain't afraid of breaking fists on faces. If you really want to taste of this, no safety tip, just aim the stick and spray the clip. I pray you miss, cause if you don't, they gon' go wacko. Automatic gun, smoke like tobacco. Never hit a lady, but it's pretty hard to tell if you're a girl or a they, them, there's these, that, those. I ain't
I love that you did that with the while he was looking at the phone.
Yeah. So one of the things in here he talks about, like, people's not afraid to break their fists on faces, and basically, to me, this is what we're missing so bad, and why this culture shit is being taken over, and why our politicians have gotten away with being fucking corrupt. The normal people need to grow a fucking backbone, and they need to actually start fighting back against this bullshit and pushing back against it and saying no. Like, we're not doing this. Go fuck yourself. And yes, we will fight for it. Because BLM and the fucking leftists they're not scared to fucking do it. But the regular people outnumber BLM by at least 2 to 4-fold.
Oh, way more than that. BLM is not that big in reality.
Yeah,
for the most part, those protests, the riots. Okay, so there were about. I used to know the full numbers on this because I studied this when it happened. Right after it happened, there was an analysis of how many riots there were.
Mm-hmm.
And people like to say this low. It was still like mostly peaceful. 93% of all the demonstrations were peaceful. And good on you. Hey, if you just got something you want to protest, I support your freedom of speech for that. But there was like 8,000-ish events total. 7% equated to like just spitballing off the top of my head, like 690 something actual riots that hit over 200 cities.
Damn.
Just to give some that's the context that they leave out when they talk about that. You agree?
Well,
he's barking at me. He's just like, yeah, America.
Well, and what's funny too is these riots, they weren't directed at the lawmakers who they were unhappy with. It absolutely was directed at small businesses.
Like the only place where the only place where I heard of them actually going to the government, and even then it was still after a ton of destruction in their downtown, was Portland.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for the most part, it was just destruction of their downtown. They did not care who owned it, didn't care what color of skin you were, didn't care. Yeah, it was, and they hurt a lot of minority businesses.
And it killed a lot of minority people. Like dozens of people died due to the riots.
It's like 33, but I mean that number, depending on who you ask, it's around that, give or take a few, because some of them they're like, oh, maybe that wasn't really riot related, but happened around the same time. But yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the best examples of that is David Dorn.
Mm-hmm.
He was a black cop, retired. He was literally going to help his friend keep his business from getting robbed and burnt down. And they fucking executed him in the street.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not talking about just shot him and ran away. They literally held the dude down and fucking killed him.
And streamed it.
Yeah, and streamed it. Like, this was shown to kids.
On Facebook.
And
it's on you, Zuckerberg. Asshole.
Yeah, like he didn't fucking know about it. Fuck that dude. I mean, fuck them all, man. You know what? For all the bullshit that they say about Elon, at least he's pretending to give a shit and has actually implemented some policies to stop some of the nasty shit that's on there.
Yeah.
Like Zuckerberg, there's no way he didn't know about the shit that was on there. And these kids see this shit and they think it's cool because these people are getting the fuck away with it. That's like the fucking we don't know who fucking left a bag of cocaine at the White House, the most secure fucking building on the planet. Like, give me a fucking break, man. It's like Epstein's cameras must have been installed. God, it pisses me off. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. People need to get fired up. They need to start taking their and it's not just do it with a few people one time, because that's not going to get shit done. You have to make it a constant thing. And you need to start voting these people the fuck out. Vote for your neighbor who works his ass off and tries to stay neutral on shit and just wants to live his life. Vote for that guy. Put him in there.
Get to your city council meetings. And I know that I'm being somewhat hypocritical because I keep saying this and I haven't gone to any myself. I need to go. But still, do as I say, not as I do. And I'll work on that myself. Yes, we agree.
All right.
You getting excited? We probably need to wrap this up.
Okay, we'll get through this. And
gun smoke like tobacco. Never hit a lady, but it's pretty hard to tell if you're a girl or a they, them. There's these, that, those. I ain't never gonna take a knee for the anthem. Smack them. I don't give a damn, can't stand them. Gang
okay, he didn't have a phone in his hand. He was just had his hand out, but it looked like he was swiping on the phone. That's what I thought he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Leave it all abandoned. I was raised to be brave to the grave. United States, we love the country that they've been corrupting. Go woke and go broker if you ain't awake. My people love this country and we're under attack.
That's the thing too. Like, the go woke get broke is becoming a lot more apparent now. Cause look at Indiana Jones. Look at Mission Impossible did okay, but compared to the independent movie of fucking Sound of Freedom percentage wise has destroyed those other movies as far as return on investment. And it really makes you question too, like, why did Disney keep it on the shelf for 5 years and have no plans of releasing it? Yeah, tell them.
That's right.
They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags. American flags. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American
Got that
flags.
AKA Draco, leave you stankin', break your ankles. I'm not hearing what you saying. Hit the pavement, now you seeing angels. It get dangerous, go against the Patriots. Got all the bangers. Take a look inside my closet. You gon' see way more than hangers, hammers like I do construction. Ammo, I'ma shoot at something. Why you think we own these guns? So we could just go do some hunting. You must not pay close attention. Government, they want division. Only treason if you lose. I guarantee we come out winning. Let my flag fly high like eagles. I would die for all my people. You can't change me with procedures. I'm about freedom, you about evil. Leave you hanging from the...
Did you hear
How have I
that?
not heard of this Adam Calhoun guy? These lyrics, dude, bro.
Yeah.
Need to go
Like-
look him up real quick so I can bookmark him. Does he have a YouTube? I assume.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Probably. Adam Calhoun. All right. Yeah. Subscribe.
Yeah, I want to listen back to that.
I guarantee we come out winning. Let my flag fly high like eagles. I would die for all my people. You can't change me with procedures. I'm about freedom, you about evil.
You can't change me with procedures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about freedom. You're about evil. And, dude, this is government policy, like just flat out. Like, look at how they're trying to change fucking everything. It's disgusting. Like, look at what they're pushing. Like, the narrative is being enforced. And I mean, Michigan's got the first hate speech crime law now.
Freaking Whitmer.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna
Wait,
go
what's
up
the
here.
makeup of Michigan's legislature?
Da, 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 da. The Democratic Party controls the offices of Governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General, and both chambers of the state legislature. So
Okay.
it is a supermajority.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Is it?
Leave you hanging from the ceiling like chandeliers in cathedrals. Never have the safety on, and when we run out, we just reload.
People of this country and we're under attack. They ban
Dude,
us,
this
they
song is
cancel us
fucking.
for speaking the facts.
This is a banger, dude.
Man enough,
Yeah.
come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags.
Wait. Hold on.
American
Whoa.
flags.
Wait. What do you mean, Rob? What do you mean you got banned on Twitter yesterday?
Wait,
for,
what?
like-
What?
Like linking this?
Seriously?
Yeah, we need some context here.
Yes. You tell. What foolery is Elon Musk up to?
Yeah, what bullshit is yeah, I don't think shit like this I don't think is Elon. I think it's people under him.
Well, I mean, he did get rid of was it Ella Irwin, which was good, but then he hired Linda
Yeah, she's
as the new
WEF
CEO.
all the way, ain't she?
She's what?
Isn't she like for linking treason to the gallows?
Oh, that's right. I did see that tweet.
Oh, what was it?
He said treasonous something along the lines of treasonous politicians ought to be hanging from the gallows in DC, or something like that. And he got suspended for it. And I mean, I'm assuming that you deleted Rob because you were back on and showing the screenshot of what you tried to post. Uh-oh. Oh. I was just stating what he stated on Twitter and got banned. I'm not YouTube. Chill out.
In my opinion,
In Minecraft.
yes. I mean, wow, like it makes you wonder, like, what changes would happen if public execution were a thing again? Because, and I mean, like, everyone rags on the Middle East for being homophobic, but I'm really curious as to what kind of corruption is there, because from like most people who talk about it, it's pretty safe because they're so harsh with their penalties. Like, if you're stealing, you will lose a hand. Shit like that.
It's still, I would say it's still rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's
it
just-
is.
Yeah.
But is
just
it?
look at the what was it? I keep forgetting what they're called. It starts with a B. The boys, little boys that they traffic in Afghanistan.
Uh,
God, why am I blanking on it? But everybody knows what I'm talking about. I know there's been documentaries on it. And it's like those boys aren't being trafficked to women. Those are little boys. So it's like, are they homophobic? It's like, no, they're just
the Bachabazi.
Yes, the Bachi boys.
That's the dance. I mean, and that means.
And then you take the book because it's homosexuality on top. It's I mean, and it's pedophilia. Because they're not just hiring male escorts; they're trafficking children.
And Bachabazi is Persian for boy play.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does. I don't know. It seems like you just can't get away from it. And I think, like, that has all the earmarks of a domesticated society.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wolves used to be fucking badass killing machines. Then they got domesticated and they became dogs. And don't get me wrong, dog can still be a protector and a good companion, but they're not gonna be able to act the same way as a wolf. Like, wolves are way more aggressive. They're very territorial and they don't give a fuck. And they will hunt you down. All right, let's finish this.
Yes.
And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. Every time we pull up, you see stars, you see stripes, you see flags on the cars and the trucks and the bikes. Every time we pull up, we go hard, we outside, we got flags on our arms that are tatted there for life. Every time we pull up, we don't care if you mad. We cherish this land, the haters can't get buried in rags. They set fire to old glory, turning fabric to ash. But every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags. American flags. American flags. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flags.
Damn.
Dude, it's good shit. Everybody share that shit.
Yes.
People need to hear that song. We need to get fired up. Give some people. Yeah, oh my god. I see a little video for Jason Aldean. Like, fuck that dude. Because he already caved.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I
he
missed that.
took out the footage from the BLM riots.
It didn't take long. What did he make it, like a week? Maybe?
Yeah, like a week. He made it long enough for controversy to come out to get clicks on it, and then he took it out to get it played on CMT again, probably. Fucking pussies.
Come on, Jason, where's your T? Where's your T levels at? You better get those things checked.
It is.
Hi,
Low,
guys.
that's low T energy right there.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. No balls.
That's right. That's right, Rob. It's gay.
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 That's what we call it. That is grifting. That
Yes.
is 100% grifting. That is Jack Murphy level of grifting. But all right, y'all. So went over a little news. Told you how fucked you are because of how corrupt the government is. Got our plans laid out. The campaign's coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. And when it does come out, like, to me, the biggest thing is just sharing it, because I 100% do want to make good product for you guys and give you guys something that lasts, and make good shit for the clients too. But yeah, share the fucking song American Flags with people, because shit's gonna get bad soon. I think shit is going to get really bad soon.
You saw that they're raising interest rates again?
I did not. That's not surprising.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're going to make it to Reagan era rates.
I don't know. Well, so we got that. We've got the Democrats getting away with fucking murder, when I believe they're going to arrest Trump soon.
Probably.
And the hypocrisy there is so fucking thick, people should be choking on it. They're basically shoving a fucking 12-inch dildo down your throat and telling you to try to breathe. It's ridiculous. But anyway, do what you can. Do what you can to keep yourself prepared, safe, all that good shit. Talk to your neighbors. Get back out in your community. Touch grass and talk to someone.
Yes, make connections with people.
Yeah. Network. Build your network up of people around you, not just people
The small
online.
communities that are going to get us through this.
Yep. Yep, exactly, Rob. J6 guys are still in prison.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Fucking stupid. Like Sam Bankman-Fried ripped thousands of people off, ruined their fucking lives, and gave all the money to Democrats. And what's he doing? He is walking back to his home here in the good old US of A to plan the next one. Jerk off, have orgies, and be on Adderall all day. Or meth. Whatever that fucking drug was. It was closer to meth.
Meth and Adderall together.
Yeah, pretty much. There you go, man. That's actually my next adventure too, because I do want to have an ammo supply company. So, yeah, that's a little bit long term, but it's definitely where I want to go. Definitely want to have like some ammo, be able to at least the ability to create my own ammo, for sure. The reloading. But anyway, it's been a long one. Thanks for tuning in, guys who have stuck around, and I hope you have a good night. This has been Flagrant. You can find me on Flagrant Triggers everywhere except for Twitter. Twitter is Flagrant Trigger with the hard R. Hard R. And Crash, where can people find you, man?
Crash Mundo JR, just wherever you can find me. I'm not terribly active on social media, so I apologize. I don't provide much outside of this weekly podcast.
It's all right.
I'm not even on Twitter as much anymore. It's just I don't like it as much. I don't think Elon's taken it in a great direction overall.
Yeah.
Is it better than the others? Yes, 100%. But it's just, I don't know. I'm just, kind of my feeling on it. Just,
I think making it.
It's nothing but rage bait. Yeah. In fact, actually, what he did lately with the whole, like, now that he's paying content creators with ad revenue.
Yeah.
It's he's incentivizing rage bait. So that's going to make the problem worse on social media. So that's kind of what's drawing me away from Twitter, even though I used to be fairly active on it before.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess that's a good thing overall. it's good for my own health, anyways.
Well, and it de-incentivizes smaller creators.
Mm-hmm.
But if he does get the video platform on it, maybe that will help. But monetizing all the big names already that's already putting you so far behind the fucking curve. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. There's just so many things wrong with that move. Well, yeah. Anyway, so you can follow me. I just no guarantees that I'll interact. I do check for on occasion. So if you need anybody needs to DM me over anything, you know, I do check on occasion.
Yep. Guys.
Also, a ton of Discord servers. There's a bunch of people who have Discord servers. I'm on a bunch of random ones. So you might find me there. I'm actually pretty active in Discords.
Check out Chrissy's Discord. Let me throw.
My people.
Hold on. I'm gonna throw this in chat before we go. This is the link to the Tom MacDonald video. So watch it, share it, get it going. Yeah, definitely, Rob. Conservatives are still getting shadow banned, and part of that makes me wonder, like, if it's just the coding and how much it would affect everyone. But conversation for another day. All right, everybody have a good night. Flagrant Triggers, just Crash Mondo Jr.
This is Tiger. Hi.
We'll catch y'all later. We'll be back next week on Sunday. So
yes.
You guys have a good week.